Welcome! This is Amber Willenberg from the U of L Libraries, and in this video we're going to talk about finding primary sources for your research. The first thing we need to think about is, what is a primary source? This page provides a comparison of primary and secondary sources. You can see that a primary source is an original object or document, first-hand information or source material that is closest to what's being studied. For example, primary sources might include historical documents, eyewitness accounts, or statistical data. In contrast, secondary sources are something written about a primary source, like a newspaper or a magazine article or book reviews. Scholarly articles can be primary or secondary. Articles presenting the results of original research or data from an experiment are considered primary, while review articles or articles that evaluate someone else's original research are considered secondary. For the purposes of your final research paper, the scholarly sources that you previously researched can be considered secondary sources. They will help you analyze your primary sources. We've put together a page just for your class with links to a wide variety of digital primary sources. You can go to library.louisville.edu/extrum/primary to view these links. Let's first take a look at digital archives. Digital archives often include historical documents, oral histories, photographs, and other digitized materials. Different digital archives focus on different topics. For example, the U of L digital collections focus on primary sources specific to Louisville history. Remember that our research topic example in the last video was, how does Twitter affect political campaigning in the US? If I open up the Digital Public Library of American Exhibitions, I can search for political campaigns to see what types of primary sources on political campaigns are held here. As I scroll through, I might want to take a look at political campaigns, the past, the present, the future, an oral history interview with a presidential campaign strategist. This could help me put the conversation I've mapped through my scholarly articles into perspective. Moving on to data sources, statistics can be a helpful primary source for many topics. If you're researching immigration, you can look into immigration statistics. Let's take a look at statistics database Statista. If I enter immigration in the search box, I find a report titled Immigration in the United States that includes several graphs and tables about immigration in the US, and I can look through the PDF of the report for relevant statistics. Government publications are also a great source of primary data, particularly for a topic that the government is interested in, like immigration. If I want to find primary source data on immigration specific to Kentucky, I can search in the Kentucky State Data Center for sources. The last box on this page contains links to collections of historical newspapers and other historical documents, including the historical New York Times. Historical newspapers can help you track a conversation over time. For example, if I'm researching beauty standards for women, I can search here for beauty standards and women, and find a letter to the editor from 1935 about unhealthy beauty standards and dieting. Keep in mind that primary doesn't just mean old. While some of you might find that historical primary sources are the most relevant to your particular research topic, others might use social media posts, news articles, or YouTube videos from 2020. Going back to my example research question about Twitter and political campaigning, the Twitter account of a politician running for office would be a great primary source. These are just a handful of examples of the types of primary sources you might be interested in finding for the final research paper. But remember that there is a huge variety of primary source types to choose from. If you have an idea about a primary source you're interested in and just want to see if it's out there, Google it. For example, if an interview with a fashion designer is the perfect primary source for your research, a quick Google search turns up several text-based and video interviews you might be interested in. If you ever have questions about finding primary sources, or if a source can be considered primary, remember that librarians are here to help. Just click the Ask a Librarian button on the library homepage to contact us with any questions. Thanks.